Hi, I'm Rose from Recipe for Health, helping busy people just like you take control of your health so you can get more out of your life. Do you have a condition, some kind of health concern that you just can't shift? Do you feel like this condition has become part of you? Ask yourself, are you owning this condition? When I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, I remember going to a support group. And there was about 8 people sitting on this round table. And we had to go around in a circle, and I introduced myself and I said, "Hi, I'm Rose. I've recently been diagnosed with chronic fatigue. I've come here to find out what can I eat, what can I do so that I can heal myself." And I remember, I can still see the picture in my mind, everyone laughing, and one man in particular laughed and said, "You don't get better from chronic fatigue. You don't recover. You just learn to live with it. You just learn to manage it. I've had chronic fatigue for 20 years. Another lady said, "I've had it for 15, another one 10, etc. And as soon as I heard that, I was so upset. And I remember going home crying. And that really affected me until finally my mother and my husband both kind of shook me up and said, "No, if you don't want chronic fatigue, if you want to get better, then you will get better. You decide. It's up to you. Where there is a will, there's a way. And if you want to get better, then you can." And I'm so glad they said that to me, because that allowed something to shift. Finally, I was able to realize that I had the power to change my health. I became empowered to take responsibility for my health. And that is probably the most important thing each and every one of us can do to improve our health. Take responsibility for your health. Your story is different than everyone else's. Your journey is different. If you have a condition or some concern where someone has told you that you're limited because of it, you don't have to accept that. Obviously, there are certain conditions out there where doctors have said, you need to be careful of certain things. Obviously, use your common sense. But if someone's telling you that, you will never have more energy, or you will never overcome your gut issues, or, some kind of issue, you can take responsibility for your health. The problem is most people out there are owning their condition. They are owning their health problems. A lot of people like to own a condition because they're in their comfort zone. A lot of people own depression. They feel like this depression, this anxiety is giving them an excuse to stay within a bubble. And if they were to come out of this depression or anxiety or these panic attacks, then that means they have to face life in a very different way, and that's scary to them. With the chronic fatigue, it means maybe you don't have an excuse to say no to people when they want you to go places. I know that when I was extremely fatigued and exhausted, I wanted to say no to more people because I used to be such a yes person. So I recall that the chronic fatigue was my excuse to say, "I'm sorry, I just can't do it because I'm too exhausted." And obviously it was legitimate that I was so fatigued, but it gives you that excuse. And so a lot of people will own a condition and they believe that it just becomes part of them. There are so many studies out there as well with different conditions that show that when you own a condition and when you feel like it is part of you, it is so much harder to come out of it when you're in that comfort zone. When you believe that you can come out of it and you finally decide to take responsibility and cause a shift, then you can come out of it. Numerous studies. There was one on fertility. A number of women were told that they couldn't have kids naturally. As soon as they were sent to the fertility specialist and told they could start IVF, even before they did the IVF, many of them became pregnant, and they actually put it down to the fact that their beliefs changed. The most amazing thing with the mind is there is such a connection between the mind and body. When you shift your mind, that sends a different message to every cell in your body. Your biochemistry actually changes when you change your mind. Plus, of course, when you change your mind, you're more likely to change your behaviours, and you're more likely to start behaviours that lend to healing. And so that's certainly what happened with me. As soon as I decided that I was going to take control of my health, I was so much more motivated and inspired to eat well, and to do the things that were going to bring balance back into my body. So ask yourself, what are you owning? What condition, what health concern do you have right now that you're owning, that you've said, this is just me. This is just how I am. This is just in my genes. Maybe it's hereditary. Maybe I've had this for so long that it's just become part of me. What are you owning? And I want you to start changing the words that you use in your mind. How can you change those words? How can you now say, you know what? This maybe used to be a big part of my life, but it's not going to be anymore. And it's certainly not me. I don't own this. Maybe I feel symptoms. Maybe it's part of my life, but it isn't me. So I want you to detach from the condition and start using words that promote healing. I want you to say to yourself, I am healing, I am getting better, and I am doing everything I need to in my diet and in my lifestyle to heal. And use that as a daily mantra, because once you say it every day, you will rewire all the neurons in your brain. You will reprogram your mind for healthy habits. That is the science of neuroplasticity. That is a fact. Once you start saying things over and over again to yourself and practicing that habit, it will become the new you. And you will get rid of the condition and you will feel fantastic. So see how that goes for you. I want you to start saying a mantra. I want you to see how this can play out for you with any condition that maybe you're owning. And let me know how you go. I love to hear stories, so send me an email at info@recipeforhealth.com.au, or you can comment where you found this video. And good luck with your journey. Good luck with recovering from whatever it is you're going through. Obviously, we're all going through different things. Like I said, some things, depending on what they are, medically diagnosed, etc., maybe there will be different levels of healing. But I assure you, if you stop owning the disease, then you will heal so much easier and faster. So good luck. Please let me know how you go, because I love to hear stories, and good luck with your journey and your healing.